Okay, this is DragonofEternity and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. In the last video, we encountered some native garleans who refused our help and got killed as a result by wild animals. Yeah. So I guess in this video, we'll be checking the aftermath of that. Right, Alphino. A way forward. Alphinode's resolve may be shaken, but he has not forgotten his duty. We have already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is make our report to Lucia, and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. Well, not much I can do for you guys. Not much I can do at all. So am I teleporting back? Yes, I am. Okie dokie, so who's this guy in the picture? They'll load in eventually. There are quests to accept around here. Bear baiting. Your inventory is not full. Heroes all under lock and code. Okie dokie. Party check. I'll say. We mustn't forget to send some of our allies to Tappa's Den. We still owe them for the bottle of ceruleum. Which we never used. Or did we? Treatment of the Tempered is proceeding as well as can be expected. If there was anything to report, you'll be sure to know. Though I gather you have a report of your own to deliver. Uh-huh. Forgive me for saying, but the three of you appear rather drained since your return. Is it aught I might do to be of assistance? Hey! Slash hug. Would you mind giving Lizzie a full report? Aaron Senna. There's something the matter, the twins look out of sorts, and you two seem a bit off. Oh god, let me tell you about this group of people. Alphino and Alphino tell me they have finished a preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Clearly they are reluctant to provide details. Might I ask for your account? Sure.
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments, and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory. And that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babil stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Varus spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
Couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
Ooh, we have a little shit. Lovely. So I'm guessing this is going to bring us to the other Aetheryte then. Maybe. Right, party check. Little shit. Said your farewells, have you? Magni. The lowly task of keeping watching over provisions would not normally befit the sun, but these being unusual circumstances, I will let no man take that which is not by rights theirs. Perhaps it is unwise to volunteer for a mission so soon after the previous disaster. Nevertheless, I will not squander this opportunity. I know, this won't bring back Licinia or her sister. Taking the same risks, making the same mistakes, it's possible. But better to try than to give up every time. Serena, we captured a boy as he was about to make off with our food. He must be very hungry to take such risks. Maybe we should give him something to eat, reward him for his boldness. Julius Hypernobanus. It is unusual for someone so young to achieve such a high rank. Very unusual. His uniform identifies him as a member of the First, which has a particularly fierce reputation. Whoever his superior may be, I advise you to proceed with caution. Alright. They are resilient in the face of hardship. You as well. But good intentions and stubborn determination alone will not be enough to bring our mission to a successful conclusion. Be on your guard. I worry they were not in the best state of mind to volunteer for this undertaking. But what's done is done. I know you will take good care of them, and yourself as well, I trust. I don't know about myself, but you will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else, remember this. Thancred, in particular, will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Alright, little shit, let's go. You and the children ready? I will explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it as an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have a full cooperation. Okie dokie. Let's go, Fire Yeti. Right, let's see. Party check. I'll say. Where do you think their headquarters are? I assume there are some others beside him and his commander he mentioned. We will do only as instructed. After all, that is what we have been striving for ever since we arrived. Alright, that's far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, and then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I am Alisei, and he's Alphino, and last but not least, there's Mariashna. Mariashna, where have I heard that before? No matter, Alphino and Alisei will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run, towards the station. If you can think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Once you choose to depart, Julius will accompany you. Alphino and Alisei will then begin moving towards the destination. Make your way without falling behind. If you leave behind, lose sight, you may try again. Ready to make a dash for the station? Sure. Over that hill, right? Which one? This one? Right, around the Ebon Bear. This must be the road he mentioned. Probably. Let's keep running. If we follow this, it should lead to the station. Not the easiest surface to run on. Cerulean Sprite. Of course there would be sprites made out of cerulean. We better not draw attention. That's a station, I presume. Is it? Yeah, it's coming up. Right, nearly there. Here we are. Julius. Cutscene time! Now, is this voiced? I'm going to ask that every single bloody cutscene. This is it, the first stop, that is. Good, it looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check your pursuers, or check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on. A wise move. A wise move. North of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close. No wandering off, understood? Aye, aye. The last bastion. Julius knows only too well what danger lurks around every corner. From here we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapon at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen? Aye, they spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the events we are seen, you to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let's proceed. Okie dokie. Follow the train, CJ! Right, nearly there. Or around here. Okay, I guess we're fighting people. You're under attack! No shit. And ba-boom. And ba-boom. I bet Alistair has a twitchy trigger finger right now. Uh-huh. Oh damn, can I get that as a mount? Can I get a car as a mount? That'd be fun. God damn it, we're perfectly capable of holding our own. We must stay alert. I see why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has occurred for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? Well, I know your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who fought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Damn. The runaway train. Long live the Emperor. I just realized I could have my chocobo out. Hang on. There we go. Go, Spyro! Ba-boom. get that up. Let's get the food up. Dots. I hate to watch you bear this burden alone. Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward. Getting closer and closer to that Ethernet. Or that Etherite shard. Or just Etherite. Okay, I guess you didn't need me. The surest way to limit casualties is to reach our destination without drawing attention to ourselves. Perhaps afterward we can try again to convince duelists that the tempered can be saved. He truly believes there's nothing that can be done for them. No wonder he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. I meant what I said, these people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered. And that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. God damn it, we have a cure! Oh, whoa, that's... I guess that graphic's just loading. Okay, follow the train, CJ. I would like to play the San Andreas remaster, but I don't want to buy it if it's in a shit state. Yeah. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, those guys are beyond saving. The hell am I looking at? Ba-boom. Such a transformation is likely irreversible. Why do you say that? To think they were once ordinary people. Look at what they have become. Would you still stand there and claim they can be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's ether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatments, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen the monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. You little shit. Can I get to this bit yet? Unless it's on the ground. Yeah. I don't think we can get in there. Alpha no and Alice A. For I wish there was another way. Thank you for keeping us from harm. Even here in the outskirts, it's plain to see how vastly different Garlemald is compared to other cities. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine this way. Okie dokie. So I suspect I go in this building. This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Go on downstairs, like I told you. Or is this your first time in an underground station? They're all over Garlemald. Even during severe blizzards, we could use them to travel from one end of the city to another. Back when they were still in operation, that is. Okie dokie. Theodora. Dots. She clearly has no intention of speaking with you. Alright, be an asshole. Let's Alpha No Analysis, eh? Oh, I hear that radio. I had no idea they had such an expansive structures built in the ground. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse, even though I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in a locomotive over there. Okay. Not liking this. Dots. Dots. What's Daddy? Did he? Oh. God damn it. Wait, is that no Rakid? No, he's garlean. Right, going into here then. Imposing commander. I will deal with you in a moment. Now comes the true test. He certainly looks the part.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Van Kina, Legatus of the First Legion.
The First? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat. And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
Incentive You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop! Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if she allowed herself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If she refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for? You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
Damn. Well, this is a bit crappy, to say the least. Alright, can I access this now? No. Shit. You two alright? I have to remind myself not to touch it, even if it starts to itch. I'd rather not set off by accident. Anyway, enough about that. Let's learn what we can from the refugees. For now. It will take more than a trifle such as this to deter us. Compared to what Garlemald's people have suffered in recent days, these collars are a minor inconvenience. What's your quest? Personae non gratae. Julius has his orders, unpleasant though they may be. As per Lord Quinton's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if I did. And if you try anything, you'll soon wish your hand. So, do you truly intend to speak with others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean, or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries, understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunities. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of this situation, and above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wherever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alpha No and Alice will pay the price. Sheesh. Alright, stop. You came with Julius, did you not? Well, whatever business brought you here, you best keep your hands off that aetheryte. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by garleans, for garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the Aetheryte's power to keep this place lit, for that comes at the cost of its normal function. Oh, so that's why it's not on. Okay. Octavia? It's you, Marish de Grandini. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them. My comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too, just another faceless enemy to be cut down, but it won't be long until our countrymen return, until you get what you deserve, mark my words! Okay, you're a bitch. Sabinianus. So cold. Young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. Marcellinus? I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Came to gloat, have you? Why is everyone an asshole? I'll wipe that smirk off your face by the blood of our fallen compatriots. I swear I'll... Ugh. Damn. Toward asserters. Of all the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Virgilia's treachery not only cost Lord Quintus his life. Wait, what? Nearly cost Lord Quintus his life. But we made our escape, took shelter in the mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell and we gathered around the radio. Then the roar, the terrible roar, the capital in the chaos. But we were spared. If you call this a mercy. Mind intact, but body broken. A soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down where you could... I'd cut you down where you stand, if I could, murderer. To be fair, I was acting in self-defense. Let's see... Where's the next one? I'll say, so cold and probably hasn't had a proper meal in days. If only we brought some food with us, but perhaps I can use a little magic to... No, I mustn't. Gosh, this is so frustrating. How much longer are we going to be stuck down here? This is no way to live. I mean, at least you got a comfy bed. Tell me where does it hurt? My arm. Ah, it's killing me. Is there aught we may do to ease your woes? And Magitech radio. The radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoil. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. Okay, back to Alphino. Did you learn anything of note? Yeah, they're all assholes. Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? If they'll allow me to, sure. Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Ah, thank you, this numbness has subsided a little, but I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we'd need to persuade Julius first. Oh boy. It's rough. think after this turn I should end the video. Well, seen enough. Yes, your people are in need of help. Let us help them. Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept, some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted, for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. What do you mean, no? We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Everything will change. One of your comrades mentioned something along those lines. Those mysterious countrymen of yours, I presume. Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or, in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Telothroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We've identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions, to prepare them for a combined assault on the Telothroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills, then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help, now. Say the word, and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. I can see where this is going to go. So, did he agree to it? No, he will not place Garlemald in the depth of their enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well, after all, many hands make light work. You lot are more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. I guess I'll be doing this next time. Uh-huh. Why must you be a dick? Why? Why? Without our healing magics, there's little we can do for these people beyond offer words of encouragement. But this way, we'll be able to offer them tangible assistance. Although this is hardly the solution we had in mind, it will have to suffice for the time being. His park materials. Julius finds himself in the somewhat bizarre position of leading ambassadors of an enemy contingent on a salvage mission. Well, that's a thing. Uh-huh. So I think with that, I'm going to end this video here. So, this has been DragonofEternity going through more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. In this video, I got to the first base, which is a subway. And there's a lot of suffering people. And we could help them. But their leader's being an absolute twat. So what can you do? So I guess next time I'm going to help Julius find some ceruleum. So with that planned out, viewers, with my rambling hopefully now finally done, until next time.